What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Brother Kelvin sent me this particular article from abcnews.go.com, and the article has a very interesting title. FANI WILLIS testimony evokes long-standing frustrations for Black women leaders. When I read the paragraph, or the first paragraph, I knew what kind of article it was going to be. Let's read it together. Fulton County District Attorney FANI WILLIS testimony about her relationship and a special prosecutor in Georgia's election interference case against former President Donald Trump was a familiar scene for many Black women. I said, we're about to start capping. Then we get down to Jessica T. Ornsby, a family litigation attorney in DC. She says this: it absolutely feels familiar. There is no secret that the common sentiment among Black women in positions of power is that they must overperform to be seen as equals to their counterparts. She also said here, Miss Willis is being scrutinized for things that are not directly related to her job performance, in ways we see other Black women regularly picked apart. Oh boy. I sat back and I laughed. Brothers, we're going to enjoy this. So first of all, I want to address the first part. Do Black women in positions of power typically have to overperform men in similar positions of power? I would say yes. That is typically true. But is that true in this case? No. No, it is not true. Because her being a woman and being the district attorney is not what we're on trial about. What she is being called out for is her running some level of, let's say, conspiracy, or having a sexual relationship with somebody she hired to build Fulton County and use the money for trips, and really a guy who wasn't even qualified to be on the prosecution against Donald Trump that cost the state over $700,000. That is what they're dealing with. And she's having sex with somebody she hired, which makes it a subordinate, and you can't do that. So basically, you're saying that she should be able to do whatever she wants to do. I'd like to now call upon an ally this episode, an ally I normally would not call upon. Dr. Boyce Leotis Watkins. We all know how I feel about Dr. Watkins. But Dr. Watkins is going to answer the question: if it was a man that is in the same situation as FANI WILLIS, what would happen? Please, Dr. Watkins, take the floor.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to come in for a second to talk about some stuff going on down south. Down south, a woman named FANI WILLIS is under fire for some situations involving an inappropriate relationship that she was having with one of her coworkers, an individual who she works with and is on her payroll. And this has led to her authority being questioned and her credibility being questioned as the lead prosecutor in the case against one Donald Trump involving stealing the election back in 2021. Now, FANI has really been fighting. She's been very aggressive, assertive / defensive in defending her point of view. And the prosecutors have been seeking to find out when she went to dinner with her male friend, I think his name was Nathan, and who paid for that dinner. And so anyway, before I begin, though, let me ask you all, can you all hear me? Thank you, the Donnet Show. I appreciate you, man. And Anthony Rose. First of all, can you guys hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm on a different device, and I want to make sure my audio is good. Give me a quick yes to let me know you can hear me. And please hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm going to be very, very quick. Okay, thank you, Metamorph. I appreciate you, man, and Jabari. All right, so with FANI, let me do a quick smell test. How many of y'all think that this is much ado about nothing? How many of y'all think that FANI is cool? I mean, FANI has been fighting pretty hard. She's been on the stand, and they have been asking her a lot of questions about mostly money. You know, who's paying for stuff and And when did your relationship begin? Those are the questions I've seen. I have not analyzed every scrap of the case in detail, but it seems like there's a lot sort of hinging on who paid for what and who and who did what when and all this other stuff. And I do agree that the Trump people are very, very dirty. They're going to use whatever they can against you. I do believe that also her being a black woman does play a part in the aesthetics of the case. I think that there is a general belief in terms of black women being incompetent, and I think that the Trump people are probably offended and annoyed that there is a black woman that might bring down his ability to run for president. I think that is all connected. I think there is a racial issue with all of this, right? And I totally get that. But then there's also an accountability issue. One of the first things that Fannie did was she kind of pulled out the race card. I saw her. I think she went to a black church and kind of went into this whole like, how dare they question me, and they only question me because I'm a black woman, and this ain't right, y'all, and all this other stuff. And a lot of people said, amen. They swayed in the church and they said, oh yeah, you're right, girl. That's right. Go get them, girl. They trying to just get you because you're a black woman. And I'm gonna just tell you like this. This is not happening just because she's a black woman. The reality is that when you sleep with somebody that is your subordinate on the job, that typically does not end well for you. There was a governor of, what was the state? Missouri, a governor of Missouri named Eric Greitens, who had an extramarital affair with his hairdresser. Did y'all know that? He slept with his hairdresser, and she was his subordinate. And he basically got in trouble for that. I think he ended up resigning as governor. He lost his position as governor. Did y'all know that? Matt Lauer. Anybody remember Matt Lauer with NBC? Matt Lauer didn't rape anybody. Matt Lauer didn't harass or assault. Matt Lauer didn't do anything illegal with anybody. He had consensual relationships. Now, he had more than one woman, but still, who are we to judge? Would it have been better if he'd only slept with one woman? No, he lost his job. The TJ Holmes and that white lady, they lost their jobs when they were sleeping together. Les Moonves, who worked with CBS, he also was accused of inappropriate behavior with subordinates. He slept with people that worked for him. They took him down. Charlie Rose went down. I could keep going down the list. The point I want to make here is that I find it really interesting. And I told y'all this, when all this was happening to men, I was one of those people who said, wow, I'm really shocked. I understand if you want to take somebody down for harassment. But when you're taking people down for consensual relationships in the workplace, Tavis Smiley lost his gig at PBS. Do y'all remember that? Give me a yes or no if you remember Tavis Smiley losing his gig at PBS. Tavis didn't rape nobody. Those women wanted to sleep with Tavis. What did Tavis do wrong? What is wrong with somebody sleeping with somebody who wants to sleep with them? So here's the deal. If you want to know my position, yeah, do I think that what's happening to Fannie is unjust? Hell yeah, it's unjust. Hell yeah, it's wrong. But here's the problem that Fannie has, and this is where that liberal democratic hypocrisy is going to kick in, is that the same rules that Fannie Willis and other Democrats want to apply to men, they're going to get applied to women. The same rules that y'all think apply to other people are going to apply to you.
So now we know that. Let us now focus on the testimony. They ask her flat out, Fannie Willis, how do you feel about having sex with Fulton County employees, people you hire? Look at the goalpost moving that she's doing.
You once said that you would not engage with a personal relationship with anyone that worked for Fulton County. Is that correct?
An employee?
Anyone that worked for Fulton County.
I think I said an employee.
Okay. So that's the qualification you give an employee? You wouldn't.
I think that's the statement that I made. So if you want to quote me accurately.
So it's your position because Mr. Wade was not an employee? Or it's your position he wasn't an employee, correct?
Mr. Wade is not an employee, and he will tell you that over and over again.
Just 1 moment, Judge. I'm sorry, the statement, just so I make sure I accurately quote you. What you said was you won't sleep with people who work under you. Do you not consider Mr. Wade working under you?
I consider Mr. Wade to be an agent.
An agent?
Yeah,
Right.
An appointee is what I really think of him as.
It is a lot of goalpost moving, fellas. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with goalpost jiggling, goalpost moving, goalpost everything else. That's all that we're dealing with here. And what this lady is trying to deal with is something that if she was a man, she would also be getting dealt with also. Black or white, period. We all know it. We all understand it. We all know it. Okay? This is the case. The reality is now you want to say, oh, she's a black woman in power. Ain't that what they all say? Every time a black woman in politics makes some sort of mistake, that's what we come to. But when you get into power or you do very well, now that's black excellence, isn't it? It's black female excellence. It's black girls rock. But now whenever that is out the door, now what we're dealing with is, oh, well, you're only picking on me because I'm a black woman. So which one is it? Or is it that when you do very well, we can praise you because sisters do well in many things. But when there is an issue, oh, we cannot criticize the issue because now, you're hating or you're against women. And this is the reason why I'm gonna tell you why Black America is not growing. The only people you can criticize in Black America is black men. Black women, there's nothing you can say to them or say about them that won't get you damn near destroyed. If you talk about them, even if it's true, you're in trouble, completely in trouble. You hate black women and all of these other things. What does that have to do with what the person is talking about? It doesn't have anything to do with the position that is being talked about. We're dealing with something that should be talked about. Point blank, period. The lady made a mistake based on her own free will. She's completely disrespectful towards everybody else about it and doesn't care. So now that she's about to face the music, now all of a sudden, well, you see, this is how they do black women. No, this is how she did herself. If she was a black man or a white man, it would have been the same scenario. But again, this is what happens. It always is a racial thing, racially motivated thing. Not everything is a racially motivated thing. Not everything. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson. Back at it again. For an episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate the fire, you do, Bell. We're out.